ale ñing audio même moy ñu audio ñing Gambia Ports Authority la assistant president Miss Jata wala be diam kanteng ila staff association ila nyaton kol what happened is albea kalam dolonu wad sotonu alport among ila staff soldier among port staff soldier on safo ila joro ñing letal tardeta no wo watola ports la staff solu ila tanana ka kamben ka joko in fact sai manda dogo kela in fact it went to a level for ayatinna overtime ko yobe bondila dogo kono bari letaro findidale alports ina na fugo mine ayatinna jorol ñu deleta itol ko bank ko latina staff solo jorol deleta but nyaaji be jodi leta wato menna watle me alon ko wat jam farim balem but it was not only about joro but also about ila overtime me alon ko ke joala they refused to pay them all those things so alganyin kewbe akanyin kewbe la kumo fotan during that period kewning because some people mome alon ko ila it be depending only low salary be depending wala kan basically ni me joala sometimes you become confused. I am not saying ko I am menke, that's what it should do. I'm not saying that. But menke wolo nyindu ko this pamusa iko malum for I mean at the convert life fonsi ka gal noma you know ka tandi loko by force nyanda ka jole. So okola la so gal ko ba bailale. You know. So but you need to understand mine atina abo reaction system go pamusa be do kola no porotole. Pamusa nam fonsi ka mo kama pamusa nam mo attack. But near pamusa be Tala mul attack is because Pamusa put at the level may along he need his money. That is what forced him to do that. So basically, I mean it will fananyanta kau jibele. Kajogo he was frustrated. I mean mole me alonko, you know, I mean cool nyakasta bulokono. So I think the only thing as a menke no will to go katai no makafu ya jokodola. Right? So I'm not saying Pamusa and Menke that is right. I'm not saying go and Menke is right. I'm not going to force any demanda more support la kukang me ya longo you know ani luwa manta. But now milad ne babaila. Kula ku me ya longo you are the cause of okwoni. So you go babaila you know ya sefe later la blah 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 but at the end of it the interest with them they went to labor. Kamida na labor so labor ya tandiko no the procedure or the process alport you may use the talkies you may use is wrong. That's what Labor told them. Labor attended the procedure and the process you may use is wrong. So it's a Bamusa Baila no. But they're still they are insisting on the Bamusa Baila. It's like the Alport is now even disrespecting the law of our land. If that is the case. Because Labor will never see in to protect Dokula Dokola, Masakunda and other places. So if Nyatara, the matter went to Labor and Labor no. Alport does not have the right or does not have the powers or Alport does not follow the due process puruka bamusa bay. So ni Alport ko bamusa bay la. So this means ko Alport they don't respect the law of the Gambia. But guys, after the audio jamal play from the staff association and the post, the audio play jane albe la moela. But ndala concern madam to be wala nyuduko Gambia government under Adama Barrow. This is not about politics. And anytime we speak, you could have politicians or lebe diamola. But you manke politikoti. Gambian ko nka diamato lele. You manke politikoti. Anu mina diamo menna belefle le don albeye lamo ani hakilora. Albeye lamo ani hakilora. Mbadum. Mbadumulu aliya kala mutako Adama Barrow masakunda na seaport ya sikale ya di Toki Sola na poro. Ya sika ya di Toki Sola. Tokiso. Yine poro sigale yadi tokisola. Yadi tokisola munkama eko pur tokisole je manage. But zanyonyi nka o tokisole wole mine sama na poro to. Me ya longo Gambia government o kelano. O tokisole wole mu management na ke o poro to. Me ya longo Gambia government o management o kelano. But yake mine kama is all because they want to ilafaka roble kana banko rob kanya bin kan na banko kan. Because this government because men kada wala nyuko President Barrow yalla ko ala masaya bandal. So now the only thing they will keep doing wala nyuko to get into deals. Me yalla ko ibo deal kodo letala ya campaignol kala ya na mul ko na banko rob kotanke. So it's like Ndola Bango, because President Barrow's focus is always going to be how am I going to be elected? And the moment I feel like mind konoko, I think he can only become elected if he have money. Tumame alonko ayin soda sono mo konoko, ate puru ate karte feo winno jang anyata kodolo sotola. So what will you do? Some of the yalonko to kodo soto no je do ebola kela. They don't care about membe Gambian call batandila. They don't care about Gambian call, Gambian call a toro moment. Imo care. But it will look close to the Nyadile, Purkata Gambian call can nene. So that tells us Ntol Gambian call how are we thinking? That tells us Ntol Gambian call, ni masakunda akan tolmuta Nyadile. Ni masakunda akan tolmuta Nyadile. Now, Yamola si porota, aliadi to a private company. Maya Lonko is clear because that private company is not competent to do the job. Private company la. And it's clear to you because that private company is not competent to do this job. After giving the post to them, meje natana mileje eko ikata si poro me alongo eko nyulu be banyuna manage la for a number of years. Near banyun manage for a number of years, whatever little profit ibe mention la banyun, ike be woleta la kasanyan si poro law. Gambian ko alila moide almalong mafia be jemo menke and you have to expose these people. Funny expose. Now, Mbeje Najeko President Kataka Berelala ke Sanyang. Imagine. Ekata Mumbere Lalake Sanyang, because Sanyang, the construction of Sanyang is not now among the scientists. It is after 5 years, it's after a couple of years. In Yandaka Sanyang Siporolo, according to their own agreement. But now, because of politics, because of the mafia cartel, because of the game, they need the gallery. They need to play around with the gallery so that it becomes closer to the one. Yetaje President Barota na minister li assembly iko allo. Naro le lo eni pichol ta. Naro ni o pichol melta. Ali allo ne wo pichol naro be jolle sotla wo pichol la because ndol ning Gambia government le be nyobulu. Ndol ning Gambia government le sign. Former evidence here. And Gambia government already, they give us this number of places, we can do this vast investment there. Because you don't tell us, whilst you give them Banjul, if a Banjul don't come, now the government can look, na Banjul dilale baron come, but now they are going to look for more investors. So, come on, we don't mind. They are going to look for more investors. Now, okay, you can go and play around with the gallery. There, because you have to go and look for investors. But you don't tell us, the contract is not about they are going to look for investors. No. Contract on you monkey. Contract on you movement wala nyindiko ibe banyul seaport la tale bo do kula ya la system wala fa ina ibe kodo men shop la je it will be 80% the tala. Gambia government is going to get 20% and the 80% ibe men shop la ibita science seaport on you lola wala. That is what you told us. That's what you told us. Now, because mina membo kan jawolo ñu ko pour understand Gambia Mansakunda the way they are mortgaging our country. Gambia Mansakunda the way they are playing with the mind of Gambians. Ibe tulun kan Gambia dimul hakilo la nyame. Ñu manke politikoti. Ñu about the future of our country. Ñu muna banko la samalit. Gambia fa ali la moy. Ñu muna banko la samal President Barrow ni mafia bulobe dunna ñokono ibe na banko wa fele be siri na bulo la ñokan. The searing Nambulura Nyokang, leaving these people even a banko wafika. Now, Yemola si porta, Yadi to Kisola. Modia Mukande, Bina Muralanjel. Now, Banyun Bara, 2017, President Baro Lahidoki, 2017, at a first tour, what was the promise of the president? President Baroko, Banyun Bara about Bridgeland. That was the promise. This was a statement from the president. Nimu kuma county member the President Barrow Dakono ko Banyun Bara about Bridgeland. Not from me, it's from the president. I tell you in 2017, at a first tour, I met a man sort of Esau, ako Banyun Bara about Bridgeland. After 9 years or 10 years in office. After 9 years or 10 years, presa marobe siri Masakunda siro kam mamol fo ko yo banyun bara fo ko ya sauver so kon ka fo ko ka preach. After 9 to 10 years presa marobe siri Masayala mamoy ko banyun bara ya sauver fo comme ka sauver ka jibe jelle fo nyimbrijo nabe dokula amin aben tala wati jelle la amin aben na fulo jelle dépense la mawo fonje follow. For almost 9 years in power, almost 10 years in power, President Marobe Siri Masakunda to Sanji Jalu, Mani Moy follow, Manfemo in Koro. But the one come and follow, Allah understand what I'm trying to tell you. Allah understand the way the mafias are operating in our country. President Marobe, the same Masakunda, they went and signed, they went and give a license to a Turkish company again. Another Turkish company also. Yeah, inin Turkish company do fana ya signé ko tanke kaje ko wol fana comme banyun bara wol be tarla wol be ferry operation okela river transport from banyun nimbara ko wol be river transport lekela banyun nimbara tema pesa baro masa kuna kilo len kanyina pale de men ka be banyun bara bridge ko mo buka moyala ina dana kalay sino di another Turkish company kalay sino di wala kafoko wala sino ni kalay sino ta ka di wala again pour wala operation okay kababa ñun kata bara river transport say ningotara anu the worst part is ilantana minake that company yawol ke damul one of the most strategic location in the world, one of the most strategic location radio sitcom the former radio sitcom inatana ko compagnie da ko la di wala pour wolé mullo wolé la ferry wolé la terminal lo ndi wona gamen ko ngadi amatolle sa ni na bara ye mun tole dila faute blame inatana wolé di wala so let's say wala ferry be borla kabo the ferry is going to be kabo radio seed directly to bara that location you already wala say if ndakada bara o kada Senegal and now ndadu nano ban before betu na banyu kono already there is a terminal me yalo go feriwe lori wonyo da samba banyu wonyo da samba bara. Why should I just join me na mbede me na mbede na banyu kono me na mbede stogo la pour traffico be ma. So basically they create another business for this Turkish mafias also pour kana si poro fa kana ebalilo ka ferry service from the government a ferry service ninta ka tinya ka ma sibe because now you give a strategic location to a private company yel la men di private company la dula kuma ba dula lo kurimba ninkana banyu kono manje ninkana ban bara manje na dum banyu kono ninaro de nika dum banyu kono bella hulo jedo na bula ferro do pap I see myself in bara. This government level fanankede. But I want you people to listen to me carefully. Lenna si poro ya di Turkish company la. E muta kono na ferry service fana yo fananta ya license di a ferry to a Turkish ferry service company. Ya license di wol fanana kono. But I understand it. Sir, ya license di to a private company while flying local. Very soon will fanan la operation will start la. Very soon will operation will start la. Say, ngana election la. After many years, kunta kinde be pan la, kanila be pan la, johe be pan. After many years, you only wait until 2026 election will kana see. 2026 katefa kana see. 2026 ye fedi osama kodanke through a very high loan. Itata julu bakata mo yota ye julo dum banko kamala. Julu bakata mo e julo dum banko kamala ko denke kanna ferio kataka feri kuto sang. Yes, I agree. Ferio you understand that? Yes, I agree. But one thing is very important. Every serious government, before you invest, masakunda kendol. Every serious government, masakunda kende. Janika na flota or janika julota or janika investment ke it can make you do planning. For example, nyantaka julota World Bank ñu julo ñi ñanda kata mi lan ko ferry service lefta ka wala ke you should able to assess or you should able to tell us ko ngañ julo menta dañu jul na kam kana du lañu ferry ñu kono but ñu ferry ñi in 2 3 or 4 years time we expect ñu ferry ñi a ñanda ka ñina generate for the country a bening amount can generate for the country. That is what we expect. Nimo Keno, for example, also. Now the ferry may along when you came to government because Kunta Kinte Ferry, President Adama Barole launch. Kunta Kinte. Ya jembele sang, ya jembele everything obeke. Ya jembe wato. But kabi ya jembe sang. Kalama nyende ko masakunda ka continue le. Ya jembele ferry you sang. Kabi ya jembe ferry you sang. Ya jembe tada baronata. Baro ferry you launch. Gambia government, can they tell us? Who kunta kinda ferry yo? I get the generate. Because we ferry you for the man so already. Na san. Kunta ferry yo, I get the dundi Gambia masakunda kono. Kunta kinda ferry me alongo ya jembe asang. Ya jembe asang jelle la. U ferry yo fana I get the dundi Gambia masakunda kono. I get the dundi na economy kono. They should be able to tell us. That's where management comes. That's where management comes. When masakunda you have management, you have technical management, and then you have other you have different managerial roles in every service. Your manager soto. O manager doku will be a doku penalty. You have the finance department, you have the technical department, you have the engineering department. All these people should inform us. Kunta kinda ferio, I jelle di. Kunta Ferio, what I mean, why Kunta Ferio? What was the problem? Milatina Kunta Ferio man a lifespan ma water. Because look, some of these ferries, if you go to other part of the world, you found ferries that operate for almost 30 years, 25 years in operate camp. 30 years, 25 years, ferry crew operate camp. Yes. Go come on. Especially at Europe there are ferries don't tell me it's because of the traffic. No. You should know how to manage the traffic. Don't tell me because of overload. No. You know that if you overload the ferry at a lifespan is not going to be low. Why you don't have a proper management? So you don't have a proper management. You went and take our money again. It doesn't you went and buy a new ferry. Yes, we need a ferry. Because I mean, especially we the Badabunkas and Yominkas, I mean, we cannot go back home without having a ferry. No, ferry. Yes, that's quite true. I am not saying government should not buy ferry, but government Janibe ferry also, for example, why? Already, it's a private company that a ferry is the one. Private company. You give a private company a ferry the private river transport service to a private company. And that private company is coming to operate. And that private company will be lower in diamond. If they start operation, it ain't very good. Maybe the operation is going to be even low. And the operation is not going to be. The revenue generate at generate. Let's call it spade and spade. Already signed. It ain't like a ferry service. Ye ferry service ta yadi ye munake siporo fonta yadi to a private company e muta fana ko nge bamba tenda yile tenda yo fonta yadi now na bridge melo bomba tenda yile tenda alewta alia privatize to a private company alia ko do muta wulu almost 100 billion for 100 million US dollars. Alio $100 million. Where is that money? Where do you invest that money? Alio kologe muntole. That is the multi-million coction me along combine in Kaka. That is one of the multi-billion coction me along combine in Kaka. Adamabaro Masakunda Linkeka. Now, you give lesson to a private company, other private company. In fact, the worst part is, and to tell you how these mafias are operated. I don't many members folk that I want people because they are more collected. But I don't know you go and make your own research. I'll tell you research. Go and do your research. The moment you will see them. That private company may along it will be ferry terminal doku will be middle side will be concrete waffle. Will be concrete waffle. Imagine a conquer ferry terminal doku. I took a ferry terminal doku. That's what you said to us. Alka ferry terminal doku. But we see they put a concrete plant over there. That concrete plant gaje la mutoka boja aka finde akasamba muntole. Aka concrete ko men mix je. Eka bula mutole, eka moto kono, eka samba muntole, eka na wafi muntole. O eka samba muntole. This is the multi-billion coction nyana kanyo nyana kanyana. Eka concrete ko men mix because obviously ni na tebe dokola. Ni be betongo sama kananja, ube fengo sama kananja, they give them a duty waiver. Ni be betongo bon Senegal, they give you a duty waiver because you do call. But now, why should government give you a duty waiver? Already a duty waiver detail for you to do a development. Instead of development, you are now selling. If that is true, because I see because jentenya jele clean fulante, ngajele motobaka serati jaga finta kata, aka finta kana kombo kono, aka congrigo men mix gay. A concrete means gay. For is it the company your license to be selling concrete or your license just to put ka fongo de la ka terminal de la pour la ferry opérer diamond. This is the multi-billion coction me alongo ben yin karo kelola ka fali mafia operation ke kanyame. But not only that, the same place mining be kanje. Because if you go there you found black sands there. Black sand. That black sand also. Did they give them a mining license to be selling black sand? That company, that ferry company, for a mining license, dealer put a black sand for a while. Took a black sand mine. That's just something more also we expect the minister to tell us. Because it only license was to do a river transport. Now, if you go to that site now, you find them in a concrete, they put a concrete plant. O concrete plant onying aka concrete ko mix concrete ko ka finde akata diamond ala long ali nyinka akata diamond ko concrete ko men finde akata diamond. Why? This is the multi-billion coction be Gambian ko nyinka la men kapa de dron ana mbaro mansakunda ila mafia gemo ana mbaro mansakunda be tulunka banku dungul la nyami yemol la siporota ya di alport could not manage it. Alport mon siporo manage no, they could not manage the seaport. They could not manage the seaport. Be Sonko be keka any staff soul be Sonkala. Kodi te bulu tala bank ko be julo tale mun julo soto no. Fente bulu mazakunda man na ka port ka mute bulu ke bay ke bonni nyim banko kan ye proper management samanan. Send them out of our country. Bring in a proper management. But you know the kind of deal you sign, you cannot just break it like that. Because you signed because any mafia level do call. Any mafia level do call. You people are working with mafias. So you know basically ale sign or ale deal or sign. You cannot just cancel it like that. You cannot just cancel it like that. Ale amere Gambian control be sinol. Ale amere be sinol. And the same thing. Ale along almalong wo niaje tanaka sanyan sipo sanyan. The only reason why that sanyan fanan kono ngita ka block lane kiji just so that government can give it to them already. Government to give them the land already. You know the activities will be carried in that place also. When they start, keep watching. Keep watching. Alman Tankala, Nimata, Makanseli Bulu, ibe black sand mine in that place. They will mine black sand in that place. Black mine. Black sand. Tell you follow it. Ibe black sand mine again. Secretly in Talona, iba kana ka wafi. Ko iba wafi ka nyame secretly. Mineral iba wafi la secretly. Intele afale. You listen to me or you don't listen to me. Nka mem fale wato be sealant. So baka diam kensan. Wato be sealant. Wato be sealant. They give a license to another company. Melbe dokola Saro. That company also. Melbe dokola Saro. The company in Saro. Eko minake. Eka chenye wafo leke. White sand. White sand. But Alialo, the same company, if you go and do your investigation, you might find out that they're also mining black sand. Did they have a license to mine black sand? For a license also about Puka Chenefung wife. Chenefungo. Alialo no Chenefungo make a mine. Waka wafi nyame. Alialo, Gambian coal. Gambian coal, Alialo, and Gambian file. Because look, the thing is here, this is about our country. ali alon ne ko niaje poro me ya longo ite nyanda ka doku start in next 5 years le. Why they have to go and lay the foundation now so that they can get in control of the area, so that more mel be wutla de se be baynoje e dlañu control e dlañu be fez yana sojarol sindije ya cicene fe muta ya mayli ka ki Gambian ko defense kalam. That is how it's happening in other countries. That is how miners milka mining ke mafia ka operating. Yes. Yes. Yeah, the country is in the hands of the mafias. Ambassador, you're right. The Banco of Mafia la Bulokon. And whenever we said this, because it's politics. It's not politics. Among the political, this is about our country. This is about our country. And I'm going to tulunkan na Banco la Medela nyofe mkombe nyokela. Do lulum tolbe nyokela internet okon. Lulum tolbe nyofire internet okon. When the mafias are, I mean, mafia ben na Banco la kuro sikala iba talaka nyote. IEC under the leadership of 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. Membe be can do man na belon anan mafula leko, we are ready for it. Wallahi, we are ready for it. We understand MPP la student wing, maybe the University of the Gambia, and in a student wing, maybe other places now understand the ko IEC be wolle takang dokola. IEC be wolle takang dokola. NPP la student wing, some of the members of NPP la student wing, IEC be wolle takang duma dokola. A so-called advertisement oleke. The sila meu fanam batunda. Wallahi, if you people think this year the registration is going to be as usual, wallahi summa wallahi al-kalpon nenele. We are ready to die for our country. We are ready to protect the sovereignty of our country. La bankola nyato billahi moten stop la no wala. Niano fong naliano alta MPP la executive volta al MPP la executive volta alieta dokola IEC. Al NPP la executive volta alieta dokola IEC. We know all what you are doing. We know any more baby Dilka, we know everything. I'm not even going to use the word alleged. What I am saying, I know it, and evidence. What I'm saying at a baila, according to my Ferry, I'll be more takan dokola, I'll be more to save duma nebe lonely. And we are waiting, and we are going to make sure we have one-to-one with all of them when the time comes. IEC. All the game IEC is trying to play, we know it. I'm telling you, all the game IEC is trying to play, we know everything. We know every single thing IEC be play. We know it. NPP la student wing. Albe wole takan dumala. Alga so-called advertisement apply. When you people already select your own people, we know it. Also long. The way you people are operating, we have our insiders. It's not going to happen. We have our insider and we know what is happening there. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏, it's how long what is happening there. We believe IEC is an independent body. Now believe loko anyantaka banku dingul bela serve independently. If you do the job, you do nyama without fear or favor. Motine noma kanyapi kan ke bondi. We all know what the law says about IEC. The chairman of IEC, the chairman of IEC, why you people should fear anybody when already the law is there? May along a back if you are doing the rightful thing. Why should you soul albala soul wafila? Albala soul wafila just because of what? Just to make sure to please one individual when millions or thousands of people are suffering. So we know what is going on. NPP la student wing. NPP la student wing boy solo or NPP boy solo melialongo albeta kan dokola. We know everything. We know everything. We know everything. Whatever you people are doing, we know it. So it's not just going to be, it's not going to be a child play. If anybody is telling you people it's going to be a child play, they're joking. Wallahi summa wallahi, they're joking. All your plans will be, we know it. It's either you take Allah, you accept what Gambians want, or you take Satan and face us, the Gambians. You take Allah and do what you are entrusted to do, or you fear individual and follow Satan. Ale sila Masakundala, o ale sila Adam Barola, o ale sila NPP la, ale fo albenyim banko wafila, ale fo albenyim banko kile kulundawati. Andole songwala. It's not going to happen. We know where all the problems starts 2021, and this year we are ready. We are ready at any cost to protect our sovereignty. We cannot allow Lunta Waka Bonan Senegal, Kana Alkaloka attestation of Diala. For what? Lunta Bonan Senegal, or Lunta Bonan other countries, Lunta Bonan Congo, or Lunta Bonan other countries, and another Banco Kang, Kakarteo Fai. You come to our country to vote. Ntolumanta won the Banco Kang Kakarteo Fai, Alcontolesi Nyaoje. Algama Moleko ha attestation of Babu, Alcalola attestation of Dial. When we know it's not a Gambian. Algama Moleko Edicatola Babulu. When we know it's not a Gambian, because we know when he was coming to Gambia. Aliam Tolbeson no Nimomoko for the Kenyan. Somebody we see, we know, we live with the people, we live with them. And we know the plan it can make it. Somebody living in Burusubi. Kasamba Kadaka register in Biam, somebody living, in Biam, Kasamba can register in. We know all the tactics Alkemen Baker, we know everything. But now, Gambia Jungul Melia Lonko, Ibaltaka Ndoko, I know very well. Because they are targeting or they've selected MPP student wing. Many of the boys they are in MPP student wing. In fact, some people even put themselves in the MPP student wing because of this opportunity. They are not MPP. They never support MPP. But because of this IEC registration, they make themselves aligned to MPP so that they can be selected because of the money. We know it. That's why I said this time the intelligence is very high. The intelligence level is very high. If you think you will do, wallahi, I'm just telling this to IEC, and they have to know this. This time, we are not just going to leave things like that. No. No, we are not going to allow that. So IEC saying lonko. Sate, kabila, suo, the long, the level living, yoka, the level living kabila killing, the level living sate killing. Dolakarañola samatu, dolakarañola kulliyoto. Dolakarañola samatu, dolakarañola kulliyoto. So it is a mortal just because election can see. And then let me tell you, IEC, if you guys think you will operate shadow or you will operate, I'll be operational karalale. Come kataka ka registration central yela al faye dualto this time. Nalia miral bakela no al kalifon nenele. I know you have Alialo Nako na Coleman detect in 2021. Alialo na Coleman detect. We know you will change your hand. Albal bulo falling. We know it. But Alialo bulo falling nyaunya nyama alalo control. We are ready. We will be in every station. Every single person registered in every station will be recorded. The time the person got registered will be recorded. We are not going to. There will be no excuses here. And Kafoko Mome Alonko Akweta Moka Manke Banku Dumuti. I got Alcalo under the safe oya. I attestation of the other another safe oya escort another. Another safe oya escort another. A Manke Banku Dumut, a Manka Kabilo Dum, a Manka Sato Dumuti at the register. anu naka ba force wala fitno be kala so wala nan ko al police o yaani dula be to al tia gas de ma sama nan ko al kidi jama sama nan de because we are not going to allow our sovereignty ndola banko na banko la nyanto ndola banko to tamu domandi womenti ndo sonna lunta way na tanto bulo kono. And I want to repeat this again. Anytime ko lunta wala ko do isa foko ha ya jele they are anti foreigners. We are not anti foreigners. I want to make this clear. We are people who love our country. We are not anti foreigners. We are people who love our country. Don't monkey anti-foreigner. Nana bankola kanu anun kiliata na bankola. We are not anti-foreigners. Nana bankola kanu kiliata na bankola. Kiliata na bankola. That is all. We have no hate against any foreigner. We live with these foreigners. We eat with them. We shop with them. We do everything with these foreigners. Ninyum foreigner lebe seeding. Nga wafiro ka nyoma. Nga domoro ka nyoya. Nga ta nyola sangoto. Nga firo ka nyoya. But when it comes in time of the voice na banko count, that is our duty. Because wolunto na ila banko ta sita akay pare janne ay bula moto la tila banko ka da karro fa nto bugo ta ji ka katro fay. Then I have to nyanta kiliya na banko la. Is that a crime? Is that anti foreigner? Who Musa go omu mold me alon ko malle fi luntawol. But like we keep saying, luntawol fane difference is subtle. And I want to say make this very clear. Luntawol difference is subtle. And we must respect that one also. Luntawol me alon ko ay bankola kaito ni na soto. Anin silola. Luntawol me alon ko ay bankola kaito ni anin silola. I want to make this very clear. Luntawo meya lonko ay bankola kaito nyina anin silola aya soto ndafolo we ko manta katra fayla because ay bankola kaito nyina anin silola anin luwala ya la nyamen ay bankola kaito nyina wala nyama ha ndawo stop la ka fo ite bankola ite banko kala because ay bankola kaito nyina le ana nyini nyala o nyini silola la silo me halongo luwa ya la wala nyama and again I can more le fana mati me ya longo abe sirim banko kan janne sanyi lulo be a be ke nyim banko kan janne la sanyi lulo be o sanyi lul tambila o sanyi nan tambila aya be ke nyim banko kan janne aya lonne banko tambita kole amenna aya lonne man samembe siring ala incompetence or ala competence aya lonne. I am not talking about woluntaw mantara walla ndawol so bugo lekada in fact nga mano sa menna ka mano sa wolela nga sukuro sa menna ka sukuro sa wolela nga kaspa o mensa ka o kaspa wole sang nga kaspa o mensa aka o kaspa wole sang. Yes. Nga bula moto mena ka bula moto la nga fuelo mesa ko fuelo le sang nga ta marso men do ka ta marso le o de nem banko be kolya ulunta moyo lonne an mo fowe ulunta moyo lonne an mo fowe anu ni dia on de ko afu ko nin kar nyul kenya de bala jan ibe jumala bayla jam ibe wol bayla no jan nyaadi le ibe jumala bayla jam ibe jumala bayla jam namana kabrin coalition government kana ko kilo yola fo lama yola ha ninyi masakuna na ebe karnyol bayla e jumala bay. That is politics. That is only politics. Politics can someone na fatala politics can someone what tonya ta kokoto ebe mul bayla bilala banko demo moma ya lon kay banko kayto so legally ay banko kayto ni na ni loi la silola. That is why nyaji be citizenship e ma foko e man citizenship ka foko pour moye ke banko dongoti a manke ko ka foko wuluto banko kan damale comme ka foko ndawulde ha nda damale ndawuldo janne nda damale ni banko do ani. But that is what is called first class citizen, second class citizen, third class citizen. Citizenship have different categories. Banko dia ay category jamaale soto mome ya lon ko wuludo banko kan afa bodo banko afa wuludo janne abama wuludo janne mome ya lon ko afa mama mbo jambara abama bodo janne a wuludo nyim banko kan janne o fana mo sidisi no dolti bar mome ya lon ko abama na fama be man bo nyim banko kan janne abama na fama be man bo nyim banko kan janne bari ata wuludo nyim banko kan janne ay karamu kan nyim banko kan janne baralo wato be afamana bama man Gambia banku di ya nyini sai bo mari mu Gambia dul fu mu Gambia dul mome yalo abama amanke banku dumuti afama manke banku dumuti bari ata mali wuluto jan sidi sin bay ba awulu nyim banko kan janne akaranta nyim banko kan janne ajita nyim banko kan janne ado ko sita nyim banko kan janne o mu Gambia dinguleti o mu sidi sin bay ba fuleti citizenship by naturalized aba mambo jang afa mambo jang bara bana fa be na tanyim banko kan janne isi tanyim banko kan jang yenyim banko kanu yenyim banko kanu ya je ko to lubet lanyim banko la kan jang ye wadu so tanyim banko kan jang wado me alon ko luwa ya la wala nyama ya apply ko to lefta kala Gambia banko dungulti ila banko la passport ya sendi o ila banko la kayto ya sendi citizenship by naturalization. Samari ay banku di yata through naturalization. Ay ala banku di ya landi ata bora damendo naturally ay banku di ya dota the siren damendo. Citizenship by marriage. Citizenship by marriage. Mobe ya lonko amambo nyim banko kan. Bari kewalam anada nyim banko kan jang anyim banko dimu futu. Anyim banko dimu futu ani o nyim banko dimu futu da ye dimbaya soto a imma ana tare man dimbaya soto ba aya futule legally ani luwa la silwala alaw muso se banko diya dino ala su banko diya beten so to amango kam ka fako luntaw be manyan na karto faila bar luntaw me ya lonko sa malam karte fawta ayna banko kanya e karto jolong o lumo fon a seta. No, no, we are not going to allow that to pay to poor cattle because I've got bank, I'm banko la kolialo, I'm banko la difficulty long, amalong banko kan, amalong kolia membe ke kan banko kan. Adamu machinery leti, we call them machinery. Wala ata janna dron, wal man na fenna, kana kan na banko rob, wal ye korole dila, ye jole. Inarana banko kan doron ka karto fay ni karto fay doro ye sey ondo karto fay ko wan mondi samana ye mabo dulalto karto fay ye si doro ye karto fay ntambita ko liya men na sanjilu tambila ye man fellonje why the reason why we are even going for election ye man fellonje all what they care is to le kodo men di dolla ani be karto men jolona ni a jolo lu ko ka sey nim fitna be ke kanyum banko kan nyata kele nyala al kon to le lu bula wala register. Let's think about this. Let's think about this. Let's think about this. Let's think about this. So IEC, we are ready. We are not just going to leave things as normal. No. We've all seen Ibrahim Silla. Immediately after the registration in 2021, I think that our MPP is settled. So this means they inane do ko menke, but this year as a PD after registration our MPP is settled because inatulele blow the nyoko I don't want to talk about the registration of other political parties. I know what is there. I know Faliele. I know the trick on all these opposition parties, on all these new parties. I am telling you. I am not telling you these new parties are not going to be registered, but it's going to be very hard because IEC is already compromised. IEC is already compromised. Leaders also will nomination. They will have everything. correct e bita nomination dula IECB balla person na ke nominate for them to stand as presidential candidate ndala ya fali ala safe ada kala chocho tiku fentano la je ndala ya fali fentano la je because that is how Gambians ndol Gambian will be wala nyam ndala nyam fali right I know what I'm saying nga mem fo nga fali ngo be sunni nga mem fo akoyta male mafoko the parties melialongo the list is the list over je ko nyanda I am telling you mafoko to register la but it's going to be very hard for these parties to be registered before the election ndele afal it's going to be very hard for nyim party to register it's going to be very hard I just give them the opportunity do you know why because they will always come up with games different games you know what I mean different games ndele afal alama I mean put a little video mabo some of the parties or some of the movements me along ko le fa register it will register la about the time we waste la nomination o si ali nomination of filers independent candidate ali taje yal bari I see just balballa without no ground balballa they will come up with their own flimsy excuses enila kalabante ya kumol fa wala mina ali general bita ali ta kidi bungono before kidi be para do mo campaign start comme menke 2021 the same thing is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That is why we're saying, let's come together. The fight against President Barrow and the IEC recently, even to fight. Well, it's one of the most genuine fight may along every Gambian have to do today. You know, we fought against Jammeh. We said Jammeh is a dictator. But I am telling you, to fight against a mafia, mafia killing, when the mafia killing, wala jawiyata, wala koliyata, katambi ni dictator killing. Because dictator was sembe court, was sembe on dollar, but mafia, aka game wala play. Mafia play with games. My people, I know what I'm telling you. Mafia will game wala play. They play with your intelligence. Mafia ka wala ke. They play with your intelligence. Guys, I don't want to go above 5 p.m. But I am going to be Metala Ibrahim Sonko live today, inshallah, 10 p.m. Which, you know, so I'm going to be there tonight. We will have a discussion about the reports. The discussion also about the so-called National Assembly Special Committee reports. So I just want to, I will stop, program will stop like 5 p.m. Through if I can able to go back and read some, inshallah. Because the type of phone, don't put your phone like this. Put your phone like this. You know, you are from Kia, please. You know, every time near adro ni accept le ya man na answer ila funo keteng kan ila funo keteng ita boda kian right so ne accept le but still now I don't know you are not connected it all the time you are like this mafia bella banko talaga ba talaka nyote ma this is the bigger this is the multi-billion corruption me alongo me nyilin karo kala Gambian kola they bring the ferry ay ferry someone na ba janyo lang go I am not saying I'm not happy that we have a new ferry. I'm happy that we have a new ferry. But my problem is the new ferry looking at the amount of money, the amount of investment you ferry was and looking at the Masakunda Yemenke. Because basically you cannot bring in a new ferry right now. A new ferry when already you give another private company, you give them one of the most strategic locations. You do la dila blame alongo. Jela lo kuta dina ita from Masakundala poro bedamento. Jela lo kuta dina Masakundala poro bedamento. Masakundala fero kalo damento. You do la in private company la jela lo kuta jela clinda. Jela simple because look Why should I? Me not do no ban you kono. Me not do no traffic go be kono. When I already there is a ferry standing waiting for me to just to get in and go to Bana and go to Senegal. Yota ya di private company la. Bamba tanda yiru tanda fanan biljo membe je me ya longo Gambia nyanda ka fenso je Gambia nyanda ka economy bust through that place. Kajeko they to promote trans-Sahara trade or to promote trans-Gambia trade. Gambia fenso je Gambia na fulo soto je. Instead of they come up with ideas, yeah, ideal sort of ideal me ya longo aben economy bust lale. They fail to do that because that river corridor. Now, for example, that river corridor need to wakabo kada Ginoy foka na kijara soma. Wonyanda kala wonyanda kala an industrial area now because now imagine that road connect us to all the way to Mali, all the way to Guinea Conakry, all the way to Guinea-Bissau, all the way to Sierra Leone and other places. Now Gambia should be able to have a hope where the factory level would lie into. So the Senegalese people will be picking. Senegal, the people living in Casamance, they don't need to go to Dakar for some of these things. They don't need to go to Dakar. They don't need to go to Dakar, for them to go and buy order. No, because already Gambia have some of these factories. One, the job creation. The people living in Jara, the people living in Farafanya and others. Let's say, for example, Ja Oil have a cement factory there. So, Ninja Oil cement factory, the cement factory, whatever Ja Oil, another factory, will tell you corridor. The trucks will matter, Yasika, Inadum, Senegal, Inadum, Malikono. How will the economy will so government any moment, any time you are going in for loan, you have to think. Bidan julo mentala, julo nying abegele di la Gambia. Gambia masa kunda ka ke wala nyama. Bidan julo mentala, nyin julo nying abegele wulula Gambia. Abegele wulu le nyin julo yunta, mbadun le nyin menkono, abegele wulula masa kunda. That's how masa kunda kendo lu kemira wala nyama. But you go to World Bank, you don't care about the future. You only care about the recent. Either World Bank, or either ADB, or either African Development Bank, either you Julu Bataje, either you Fenta, either you have been the Fenkunto Meya Longo within 2-3 years. Abanta, the Fengelaje Kotange. Within 2-3 years, you ask them how much you generated from this loan. They will not tell you anything. It's a Femfo or no. They cannot tell you anything. They cannot explain anything to you. Because if they cannot tell us how much money kunta kinde men generate, because a proper government, let's masakunda kendo ka opera wala nyama. Masakunda yanda ka formula because kunta kinde na da brown new. Nobody brand new according to them. Whether it's a second hand or it's not a second hand, what they told us kunta kinde is brown new. So kunta kinde me ya lon ko alko is a brown new ferry. You should be able to tell us that brand new ferry. It was so and so capacity which we know. But you should be able to tell us kunta kinde jelle doku from 2017 for 2026 today. Kunta kinde jelle doku I revenue jelle create. I revenue men create. I call them bondi for kunta kinde sanno jelle bam farmers sanno je one. This is one of the most important things we want to know. For kunta kinde I men doku as a ferry do sanno bam father ferry do sanno. Because maje ko men ka ko Gambia port do tele ta ferry o sa no ne menje wala ñu ko masakunda le dilu ta ka ferry o sa anu momo ka kundu ferry o ka jole nga ko men jowale where is our money na kodo where is our money fu Gambia pa ala understand baro masakunda la tulum baro masakunda la fair because ibe fair kan they're really playing with Gambians. These people are not delivered. These people are not doing anything. These people only care about dealing with the mafias. That's all what they care. Imam Fen care about the future of the generation coming. All what they care is how much money they're going to put in their pocket. That is their focus. They have no other focus. My dear countrymen. And I think we should all know this. And yet still, I repeat, I am not saying I am not happy for us to have a new ferry. Yes. Yeah, we need to have a new ferry. It's even late. But my problem is why should you go and invest multi-billion, I mean multi-million? Why should you go and do a multi-million investment? Yemola na fulo ita julu baka don ta. Ita julu baka don ta ko ferry yo sang. But ita kilo muta ko danke that the same ferry la operation on yata yadi mo dollar. Because now if you look at Bambatanda Iritanda, I banyun bara la load ning I talal. Because Bambatanda Iritanda now the bridge ning like you know I banyun bara la I banyun bara river I mean river transport ning I talal jindi baake because of the bridge. So many of the trucks or many of the people man they don't want to waste time. I mean New Born Senegal don't they just get into there and then bam yeta. So basically, you know, I mean Bambatanda bridge ning I banyun bara la ferry load ning I jindi baake. Yeah, but I'm still happy. But my coction is the multi-billion coction. Why you should invest that multi-million? Why should you invest into multi-million ferry when already it is river transport in the privatized to a company, to a private company, and that private company for how many years? Now ferry they are almost here, and say nyama ferry. We don't see that ferry yet still. For Neymar, is it Neymar? That Neymar company. We've seen it. Since when the Nyaja period because they're coming to start operation. But since that time, do you see them operating? So Naba Nyaba, the government need to do an assessment to tell us then we have done an assessment. We've seen okay, this private company will do this number. They should be able to tell us because I mean Masakunda mu wallet nyajeka expert or sort of. You take people to work for you. Masakunda mu wallet. Masakunda, you have experts to do specific work for you. At least they should be able to analyze and tell us, for example, if they give out a license, Masakunda should be able to tell us, ne license the company I mean, company ala load be kala jelle it will be, let's say, ila doko nying abe kala jelle let's say for example, and the Gambia Ferry Service Finance will load be kala jelle. They should be able to tell us this. And that is the reason why they go in for this ferry. We want to hear this from the minister. You should tell us. Amanga komenge ifo ya iba fala mo yele ko yes okay na license no deal na license no to a Turkish company la me along they will do a private operation. Yes, they will do a private operation. You understand, at least to make the river transport efficient. Fine, I agree. But Nigeria also, we don't also want the ferry service also to die. So, but Nigeria go okay. Nanying nakam karne di nyula they classify the kind of vehicle. I mean, ferry. I mean, the Gambia government bekala the type of vehicle mensikala. The new company bekala the type of vehicle mensikala. They should able to explain this to us, and that's allow them to go in for such investment. So yeah, ferry on the side, no problem. But like I said, Nana Global 2016, we have a new president, a new ferry, and a new government. 2026, we will have a new government, new president, and a new ferry is already in town. But guys, the elephant in the room is the Alport. Gambia government, what is stopping these people? Many acting the Gambia government up to now because we had them go the Alport la manager Canadian, they are going to redo the contract. After redoing the contract, what did they? After they done the 4-year contract, and what was the agreement? About the contract. Or why this government? Why they are insisting with this Turkish company? Minatina ni Masakunda be insisting with this Turkish company when the staffs at the port authority every day complaining and every day fighting with this company. This is the big. This is Nina Karo. Gambia Masakunda molla poro sika ya wapi. Sai do kulal mel ya lon ko wolle be poro kono lolum eni alport be kelo lolum eni be kelo ye karla bay e manna jole ke e manjina ke e manjina ke. This is the bigger problem membe je. What kind of services be men dika me ya lon ko our people were not given. And this takes me back to our own people. That is why when you are giving service, your own Gambians be coordinate or your own Gambians is the one monitoring you. Akumatele back ya bunya ya respect. Sa fele bi mafia le naro samana ya sinda. And then I can tell you nyim dilo nyim la atul malo nyim port dilo nyim abe mel nga ko to jang. It's not possible. It's not going to be cancelled. It's not possible. At no point is going to be cancelled under the leadership of Adam Barrow. Alport dilo me wala alport. At no point ma wati je me ya longo ba cancel as far as Adam Barrow le masala nyim banko kam. And look, alport abejara le ko bela, abejara le na fulo bela. Now is Gambian fighting against the mafias now. Yes. Because the more money he have, the more chance he can able to win election. And now, the same companies, those companies also knows very well. Yalonko, this is a bad deal for the country. And if we have a very serious government, they can lose to all those deals. So what they will do, they will also, the little money, instead of the money comes to the government, the 80% of that 80%, maybe who knows, they are trying to save more money for Barrow's campaign, through Adam Barrow campaign. They're trying to save more money for Adam Barrow campaign. That is why they could not even pay their staffs. Who knows? Look, you know, like I said, I don't hate the president. He's my brother, and I love him. And I keep saying, President Barrow Macron, the only thing he cannot fight against the mafias because the mafias have consumed him and they make him a mafia. Because if you allow mafias to get into your house, you are a mafia. That's it. I don't hate the president. But the truth is this, President Barrow cannot govern this country. Atanyam banko sambanola, abe balankang, amalef ka banko ta kadi mola, melbenyim banko sambala. Mafia lea surround. Mafia lea surround. Yes, ndale Mafia le surround, mafia le murumuru. And no mafia wallahi, Mr. President. Ita mafia la masi bolona. For lungume ya lonko. You are no more the president of this country. Wallahi, Mr. President, ulule balo ndoko ma, nteri ma nkapnyo ma, Sonko Gambia aka memfonye tonyale. Lume ya longo Gambian call be vote out from that office. Ulule abe koile mako. That's the day. It's going to be clear to you. Wallahi, summa wallahi. You were having people around you, Melialonko, they never love you. But they were only with you. If they cannot just because they are guiding their own pockets. They guided their own pocket. When we were struggling, when we were fighting against the dictator, Otumo Wole, where were they? So Gambians probably understand very well. I've seen the minister, the Malian minister, of Foreign Affairs or the Malian minister of Trade, whatever, came to Gambia. Hey, my people. What stopped these people going to Mali, going to Liberia, going to Sierra Leone, going to other places to make sure they come and take their properties in Gambia well before Alports? Stop. A very strong agreement between them and Mali, between them and Guinea, between them and other countries. And what stopped them to invest? They have proper and efficient running of the ports. Stop because every property, generate. What stopped them from buying, properties? What stopped them? What stopped them? Ali, 1 minute, guys. Let's start. Apa nan? Berbual apa? Ako? Okay, no. Sorry, Hamza. Sorry guys, I'll go over it, please. Yeah. So Manu, you know some of the things, and I feel like we can share